Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick.
And my name is Chris. And Nick, what do we got in store today?
Today, Chris, we are taking we're taking a deep look at Flare, Chris. We're going to have a look at Spark. We're going to talk about various different things such as exchanges, wallets, XRP, and we're also going to dabble a little bit of speculation, I guess, on what the price could be for the Spark token itself, or once we get our hands on it. So pretty good stuff. So let's dive into the markets, see what's happened in the last 24 hours there. We'll have a look at the XRP chart. We are predicting there's going to be some movements happening here in the next few days, so we want to just check that out quickly. Then we're going to have a look at Flare and everything that's going on there, and dig deep into what the Spark drop might look like. So as always, guys, if you find this useful and informative, go ahead and hit the like button for Chris. He really appreciates it. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with all of the videos and live streams that we do here on the Cheeky Crypto channel. Right, with that said, I'll just jump over to coin market cap and review what's happened in the last 24 hours.
Super, let's get straight into it, Nick.
Right, I'm just going to give this a refresh quickly. We can see we're on $567 billion in total market cap. Trading volume is 108 billion, and Bitcoin's dominance here is at 62.6%. We can see some greens and some reds in the 21 projects now that we are watching on this channel. So let's just call out XRP. It's at 5.46%, 5.4 now, percent up for the day, with a 0.64 in the last 7 days. If we give that a click, we can see it's currently trading at 61.4 cents. Market cap is the 27.8 billion. Trading volume 9.9 billion. Circulating supply is 45.3 billion. Obviously, the maximum supply is the 100 billion that we know of. If I scroll down here, we'll just recap that all-time high of $3.84 on the 4th of January 2018. So a pretty good day for XRP, 5.55 up now. It's going to be floating around. Let's see what's happening in the chart. So here we are on the XRP to USD chart, Chris, and I've just brought in the MACD at the bottom so we can see what that looks like, and also we have the fib retrace on here. So the fib retrace goes from the low of the 3rd of November through to the high of the 24th of November, and we can see that we are just actually touched on before dropping down a little bit, Chris, the 23% retracement level. We just touched that line, and there was a bit of selling pressure, so we dropped a little bit. But I think we're gonna get through there, that little bit of resistance, and then hit this 65 cent, get through that, and move on up to the 70-ish or 70 cent level, and then hopefully head towards the 77 and 80 cents, and potentially all the way through those resistances as well. What we're seeing, if I draw on here quickly, is a bit of a standard kind of move that we see with Ripple here, and I should say XRP really, and that's this kind of upward trajectory like this, a little bit of a come down and a test. We tested all the way down here, then we come back up, then we come back down, and then we're off. Okay, so that's the kind of the standardized move, and what I mean by that is if we scroll on out, let me just delete that line. My bad scribbling. If we scroll on out and just go ahead and change the daily to a weekly, for example, we can see what happened here is not too dissimilar to what's happened over here in those time zones. The patterns are very, very similar. Maybe not on the weekly view, but if I drill this down into the daily and scroll on out, we can see how the patterns are not too dissimilar. We went up, we came down, and there's a bit more of it here. So if we just drill in and look here, right, we went up, we went down, and then we went up. We had a little bit of a test down again, and then straight up again. So if we look at it from here, in that pattern, that sense of a pattern, it's basically like a 1, 2, and 3, and we're off, right? So that's the pattern that we're seeing, that's basically now being repeated, but over here on this side. So one to watch out for. If we scroll in, we can see, that's this particular pattern. If I scroll in far enough, Chris. Right, it's just here, so we can see that we went up, then we're down again, and now we're predicting that we're going to go up and test some of those higher levels, which is really, really good. Now, on the 1 day, we can see that the MACD has crossed, right, and it looks like a negative. But if we change this into something like more like the daily, sorry, the hourly, we can see how it's been crisscrossing a lot, and we're over it here, looking pretty good at the moment, but we'll see what happens as this changes. We look at the 15-minute, we get a very similar idea of what's been happening, but I like to look at it from the daily point of view, and sometimes even the monthly looks really nice, so we can see the kind of level that we've had in comparison to what's happened recently as well. So pretty good stuff in terms of the chart here. One to watch out for, we're kind of looking to test the 65 cent when we get past the 23 cent retracement level, and if I flip that in reverse, it would be about the 72 or so percent, like, you know, up in those areas where we're being tested. Right, but let's take a look, Chris, at Spark and everything that Spark is happening. You know, it's only a matter of days away, isn't it? So here's the countdown, right? We're 5 days, 1 hour, 9 minutes, 19 seconds away from the snapshot occurring, which is absolutely fantastic. And obviously we had this news today as well of Coinbase to support the Flare network airdrop, right? Which is maybe a couple of fold thing here. One was pressure from the community of people potentially pulling their XRP away from Coinbase, so they want to protect themselves in that aspect of things. So supporting it there, maybe a little bit of peer pressure, but also, you know, what does this mean? They're going to be supporting the Spark token itself. They'll be trading it on Coinbase, and that means a lot of good things as well for Spark. So one to watch out for. But let's head over to the the Flare Network's website. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at their supporting exchanges, so we get a full view of what's going on here. So we have Altcoin Trader, we have Anchor USD. This is a new one as well. So 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, never heard of them, but fantastic. Big ones also new. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, Binance US. B for you, or B for Y. So that's the Bit for You website. 𝗕𝗘𝗪 or 𝗕𝗘𝗪, I'm gonna say 𝗕𝗘𝗪. Sounds like that. 𝗕𝗘𝗪, we have Bit. There's so many bits, isn't there? BNS, Bitcoin, Mister. We have Bitcoin Susie, or Susie. Bitexen. Never heard of that one either. Bitfinex, Bitthumb, BitHub, Bitrue, Bitso, Bitstamp, Bittrex, BKEX. We have BTC Alpha, BTC Markets. It's just the list goes on and on and on. But BTC Turk, BTSE, Celsius, Coinbase is finally on there. We have Coinbit, CoinX, CoinField, CoinMerce, Coin1, CoinSpot, Coldax or Codax. We have Crypto.com, which is good. eToro, eToroX. We have XMO. We have 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, something like that. Gate.io, GateHub. We have Gitaurus, we have Gopax, 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗏, however you say that one. We have the Indodax, iTrust Capital, which is another massive player. We've got Corbett, Mr. Kraken. We have KuCoin. I probably wouldn't go there. Liquid, and that's just a play because they got hacked a little while ago, Chris. That's all that is. We've got the NAGA. We've got Ndax.io, Nexo, obviously. We've got OKENX, Polynex. We've got Probix, Swiftx. We've got tokens, Upbit, Uphold, vBitcoin, it's vBitcoin. We've got Warix, 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘. We've used those guys before. Young and ZB.com. So I just remember the days, Chris, that this list was tiny. There was like hardly anyone supporting it, and now we are just 5 days away, and we have a whole host of different exchanges that we could hold our XRP on and claim the Spark airdrop. So do your research on whichever one of these you might choose to do it on. We have obviously set up our ledger devices, our hard wallets, which we'll talk about that in a moment. But if you want to do use an exchange, you've got a whole list here to choose from, which is absolutely fantastic news. So let's have a look now at the supporting wallets. So here we have Kobo, we've got Exodius, we've got 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. We've got the ledger and we've got some, right? So we are using the ledger devices, the hardware wallets, and we've set those up to basically allow for the airdrop, which is fantastic. So if you're using a ledger, you can definitely do that. Exodus is also a very good wallet, and I believe there's a toggle button on that one to make sure you hit that. Sum's obviously very, very good, as well as these others. So good at supporting wallets as well. Let's go ahead and dig in, Chris, to a bit of the documentation side of things. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more interesting. We're going to go ahead and click on the XRP white paper. And that's just because we want to kind of give you guys a bit of an idea on the price of Spark, right? And in here, there's maybe a bit of an indication. This would be speculative because it might not be anything like this. But when you look at the numbers, it kind of gives you a bit of an idea as to maybe what might happen, right? So if we have a look, we can see, if I zoom in so you guys can see, a bit too far, but there we go. Right, so the collateral system. This is where Spark tokens sit under the collateral system. So basically the collateral ratio is the system-wide value ratio that determines how much value in Spark is held as collateral by the XRP system to secure one XRP. At the outset, this is set to 2.5. So 2.5 Spark represent one XRP. Okay, at least that's what they say in definition 2.7. So the variable that then determined the XRP issuance cap, the total amount of XRP that can be issued. And then you have a little bit of an infogram here. So you have the XRP ledger and the Flare networks and how all that stuff works. But here we're going to have a figure 1, right? That shows that. And 2.8, right? The XRP issuance cap is the total amount of XRP that could exist given the current system parameters, right? So the issuance cap equals the SC divided by the CR times N, right? So in example 2.1, at an XRP/Spark ratio of N equaling 0.5 and CR equaling 2.5 Spark must be held by the system for every 2 XRP issued. If an originator wants to issue 10 XRP, then this corresponds to 5 Spark. Therefore, 12.5 Spark would be initially held as collateral for the XRP system. Okay, and so N is the variable here that changes. So as we saw from 2.7, this says that basically 2.5 Spark represents one XRP. But if N were to change to half, right, so 0.5, then actually, it's basically, 2, I guess, Spark tokens for every XRP or FXRP. Okay, so you'll end up with a ratio like this. So for 10 XRP, 10 FXRP, you end up with 5 Spark required. But obviously that has to have that multiplication factor applied, which gets you the 12.5 Spark being held in the system as collateral. So if you need to have 12.5 as collateral for the XRP system to work, there's going to have to be value correlating between the Spark and the XRP in order for that to work correctly. So N could be a factor in that, but also I think the value of Spark, the value of XRP has to have an element to this. So I'm going to be a little bit speculative on how we figure this out. But if we use this as an example, where we say that 1 Spark equals 2 XRP, because FXRP is a direct link to 1-to-1 to XRP, then we could double the price of XRP to equal 1 Spark, okay? And that would be the very basis of that, okay? So if I just pulled the calculator up here, let's say XRP is 61 cents currently, we multiply that by 2, $1.22 would be the value of Spark in this scenario here, in order for that to work and that ratio to be, relevant. At least that's how I read it. If you think otherwise, let us know in the comments down below. But then we get a little bit more complicated because $1.22 is fine, but we know that they're not going to be distributing all of the Spark all in one go. So what would happen if we were to then, factor in that we're only having 1.5 billion rather than, the whole 45 billion being distributed? So in that scenario, we have to consider that there's 45 billion XRP, right, in the system. And if we wanted 45 billion to enter 𝗕, it wouldn't be possible on 1.5 million, billion Spark. It just wouldn't be possible under this ratio. So instead, the value of Spark has to be different, and the value of N has to change. So in that scenario, we'd have to look at this slightly differently and say, okay, if there were 45 billion XRP, how many times does 1.5 divide into that, right? So if I go and just divide it by 1.5, that gets us to 30, right? So if we had our $1.22 in scenario A, and we were to multiply that by 30, that might mean a $36, a Spark token potentially, in order to allow 45 billion XRP to be utilized in the Flare network. So speculate on that as you will, but as it stands at the minute, maybe the minimum could be a $1.22, because on this example here where N equals 0.5, and one Spark token represents 2 XRP, then we have to double the price of XRP to equate to the value of Spark in order to get the collateral working at 2.5 times, because the fluctuation in price of XRP would dramatically change the collateral required for the system to work. So there has to be a correlation between both the XRP value, the Spark value, and the ratios that the system is utilizing. So read into that as you will. 1.22 might be a number that Spark might start with, but the fact that there is only 1.5 billion in circulating supply and 45 billion XRP, could we see a times 30 value on that and a $36 Spark token? Speculation, could go crazy at this point, Chris. So I think we might have to leave the video there with that thought on Spark token. But do drop your thoughts and opinions on what you think Spark could be in the comments down below. We really wanted to put a video out there to let you know that the Spark snapshot is happening in 5 days from now, on the midnight of the 12th. GMT. There's a whole host of exchanges now supporting it, a whole host of wallets, there's wallets supporting it, and yeah, I'm really excited for it. So I think it's going to be really, really good news for the XRP community, and to have some real good utility in the terms of DeFi space for XRP, I think it's going to be massive. And I think the Spark token distribution is a very good way of going forward, with only 15% allocated supply going out there. So really interesting stuff happening with Spark. So guys, do let us know what your thoughts are down in the description below. Chris, is there anything you want to add to this?
Only the fact that I expect XRP to start to really pump this week in the build up to the Spark drop. Apart from that, yeah, it's nothing but speculation. But it's interesting when you look through the white paper and you try to pull things out as to what it could be, and wouldn't it be phenomenal if it was close to that $36 price prediction? It's likely that it won't be, but wouldn't that be fantastic if it was?
Yeah, so do let us know what your thoughts are. Really interested to know. And as always, if you found this useful and informative, go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really appreciates it. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here on the Cheeky Crypto channel. And with that said, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yeah, take care.